internet people, runners, future runners, here's the Walt Disney World Half Marathon 2015 recap. So this past weekend I ran my first half marathon with no training. Yes, you heard right, with no training. So I live in Tampa and we drove all the way to Orlando the Friday before the race. I went to the expo, checked in my hotel, picked up my bib number and my t-shirt, which is this one. A beautiful shirt. I love it. It's long sleeve, it's red, duh. Okay, it has Donald Duck, and I love this design because it has like psychedelic / comic type thing underneath Donald Duck, like outlining it, and it's just so pretty. It says Walt Disney World Half Marathon 2015. So this was the shirt that you get when you sign up for the race. We checked in at the All Stars Sports Resort, which is a value resort. It's one of the three All-Star resorts. There's the movies, the music, and then the sports. Personally, I like the sports the best. I stayed in the movie resort last October when I ran the Tower of Terror 10 miler, but I felt that the sport resort was a little bit more up to date, at least when it came to the bathroom. The bathroom was much newer, I guess I could say. It just felt better. I also had a lot of meals in the resort, since when we got there we were so hungry we couldn't wait to eat anywhere else, so we ate at the food court inside the resort. The food at the food court wasn't the best, but it wasn't that bad. It was actually really good, and the variety they have is amazing. We also bought these little cups in here. So these cups, we stayed 2 nights, so it was around $12 for those 2 nights. And these are, you can get free refills. These are pretty cool. These are, as an engineer, I'm pretty amazed by the technology they use. They like codify your cup from underneath here, and whenever you put it on the soda dispenser, it like reads your cup, and you have a little screen on top of it, and it says like this cup expires on January the 13th. So it reads your cup and it knows you can get refills, so you get refills, but if your cup expired you won't get it, and it reads it from down here, and I think that's pretty cool. So after checking in we went to the expo and I picked up my packet, including this shirt, a Cliff Bar, and my bib number. Sorry if my bib number is all messed up, but this is how it finished. So here's my bib number, and it has Donald Duck Half Marathon 2015, and I was number 46,678. So that put me on Corral L out of like 15 corrals, I don't know, you do the math, from A to P. So I was Corral L. That's right after the middle. And I think that was a really good corral for me because I'm not like a professional runner. I'm not fast, but I also didn't want to be in the last corral because I wanted to have that time advantage. So the next day, I woke up at around 3 in the morning, 2:50, and I went ahead and got ready. My outfit for the race was a long sleeve shirt, one I got from Target, a random one, and then a tank top with Ariel on top because I wanted to be dressed like a Disney character, but I didn't want to be too dressy. So I chose to have a tank top themed Disney tank, and I put a red headband on top, you know, because Ariel's hair is red, but that headband didn't last. It was a sweaty headband, and I guess my head is not made for headbands because I've tried with other ones and like there's not a headband in this world that can fit my head. Anyways, so I got ready and I left and I hopped on the bus at around 3:30 in the morning, and that's the time when everybody was getting on the buses because it was so freaking cold. It was around 46 Fahrenheit and the wind was blowing. The wind was, oh my god, it was so freaking cold. So of course nobody would leave at 3 in the morning to wait there for an hour, to then wait 2 more hours until your corral left. So we waited until 5 and then I started walking towards the runners only area, so my dad stayed behind. And they had actually a pretty good setup for the viewers. They had food trucks where you could get a hot coffee or a hot chocolate. They had the big screen where you could see the runners start the race. So my dad stayed on that part and then I entered the runners only area. We walked around 3/4 of the mile to get to our corrals, and then I waited for around 1.5 hours to 2 hours until my corral actually started. The race started at 5:35 and my corral ended up leaving at around 6:10, somewhere around there. And we started off. As I mentioned, I hadn't trained for that race, so I was pretty nervous, so I started running fast. On every race, I always start fast. It's not that I do it unconsciously, but I do it on purpose because for me, running is more mental than physical. So my mental game is always strong at the beginning. So I rather start strong than start normal and poor, because I rather start strong and poor than start normal, because then I wouldn't use all the motivation and the strength, all my mental strength I have. So I started running fast. I took a lot of walking breaks and then I just decided to just run at a regular pace and follow the guy with the 3-hour mark. I had predicted to end at 3 hours and 8 minutes from the time I gave from the Tower After 10 miler. So I was following the 3-hour mark guy, so I was better than they predicted and I had no training. But around mile 8 I started getting tired. They had a great pace, but I just need to walk a lot. Like, I need my walking breaks, like I need them a lot. That's how I trained, with a lot of walking breaks, way before ever running a lot. So that's just how I run. I needed a lot of walking breaks. So around mile 8 I left the group and started running solo. And I ran, yes, but I walked a lot because I was already feeling tired. At around mile 10, which I hit at 2 hours and 22 minutes, which is the same time I hit on the 10 miler back in October, which is funny. Anyway, after mile 10 I started feeling so freaking tired. My muscles were screaming at me. I was so sore. I wasn't in pain, but I could feel it coming up to me. So I kept strong. I was like, you can do it, 5 more kilometers. And I ran the most I could and walked when I needed to walk. The race was really, really fun. I got to run under the Magic Kingdom castle with Elsa, Anna and Kristoff waving at me from the top of the castle and snowing on top of me, and it was so surreal. I also ran around the Epcot ball thingy. I don't know how that's called, but it was so freaking fun. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I was in pain, but I loved it. The last mile felt like the longest mile ever. I was like, when is this gonna freaking end? Like, I planned to walk part of the first half of the last mile so I could run the last part, but it was so freaking long I didn't know when I was halfway through. But I did end strong. I ended the race running. I had my jump and everything for the photo, and I got this baby right here, this gold heavy bling. It's so precious. I love it. It has the Donald Duck. It says 2015 Half Marathon Walt Disney World. The straps. It's a pretty cool color. It's a blue and it says half marathon. And it has Donald Duck and it has the date of the race. And I just love it. It's going to my bling collection, which now sums to 2. I really like this medal first off because my first medal from the Tower of Terror 10 miler, it has a tower shape because of the Tower of Terror, but this one is rounded, so it feels like a real medal. I just love it. I feel so proud of myself. So after the race and after getting my medal on my neck, I went to the photo things they have at the end. I posed, I got a photo, and then I went and collected my snack box. I took a couple of bananas, my water bottle, and then I ran off to my dad to hug him and be so proud of myself and take a lot of selfies and just brag to everybody that I had just run my first half marathon. So it was great, it felt great. I could do it again, which I will because I'll be running, most certainly, the Disneyland Half Marathon this year, later in September. So, if you want to watch that, don't forget to check me out all the way in September. Also, I vlog the whole weekend. So if you want to see what I did, how the race was, like you want to actually see it, not just hear about it, you can click right here and right here. Here are the links for the Friday before the race to watch the expo, and then for the race day. You can also watch all the other videos I've done about Run Disney. I've run, as I said, the Tower of Terror 10 miler, so you can watch the recap right here. I have some tips for Around Disney, so you can watch that right here. You can also watch what I've packed for all the races. All the links will be down below, so check that out. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!